All right, what's up, guys? Mark Augustine here, and in this call, I have Ben. I'm back in the DS. Guys, you used to call him Baby Obama. So,
What's up,
Ben,
everybody?
you want to introduce yourself really quickly?
Yeah, yeah. So as Mark said, I was in the DS Genie era, and I did well then. But unfortunately, it was just so much was going on. I wasn't able to continue with it. But now I'm back doing Ecom Sniper, and things are going really well, and I'm excited.
So, when did you stop drop shipping on eBay? And when did you start back? You've been doing it like a month and a half now.
Yeah, it's been a month and a half. I think I stopped 2017. I think.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What made you get back into it? You have extra time, you want to make extra money. What's your
Well,
goal?
because I knew this was AI based, I was like, I can easily do this while I'm doing my regular job, and
Right,
supplement my income through. Because as you know, with DS Genie, we didn't have AI back then, obviously.
right,
But because of that, there was a lot of manual work. So it was a lot more difficult to establish like a schedule. So
right,
this
right.
makes it a lot more easier.
Okay, okay. So I want to talk a little bit about what you did. So you made close to $1,500 your first month with Ecom Sniper.
Mm.
And you want to just share your screen so you can just show these guys, just give an idea how much you sold and how much money you made on the items you sold?
Yeah, yeah. I can do that. Yes, sir. Sure. I think that's right.
Right. Yeah, that's it. So guys, if you guys want to check out Ecom Sniper, join any of the groups. I'll put links in the description. But basically, what Ecom Sniper is a piece of software that Sammy and I created. Sammy did the program, and I did a lot of the planning in the beginning. But we created it to implement artificial intelligence in the eBay dropshipping process.
Mm.
And Ben, it's a little different than what we did with DSGenie because the listings that when you're taking listings from sellers, you're not using the same title that they had.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm just waiting for that thing to go away at the top. I'll get rid of this thing, man. This thing's in my way. Oh my gosh, I can't even see. I forgot about that bar at the top, you know?
Right.
I can't. Is there a way to minimize that damn thing? Go away. All right, that's good enough. Okay. I'll try to stay away from it so it stays up.
Yeah.
All right, so as you guys can see, this was my March earnings up here at the top for my first month. You can see before taxes, after taxes, and about the average altogether 40%. Um, as you can see, I hit the rows because I want you to see what I'm selling. But you can see how much I spent, the
Right.
amount of
And the
taxes I
guys, the
spent.
purpose of it hiding the roses so you don't be you some of you guys come on these calls, come on these videos to take exactly what other
Yeah,
people are
nah,
selling.
they
So
ain't
we're
doing
just
that to me.
protecting a
Yeah,
bit of privacy.
yeah, exactly. So, you can see over here on eBay, you can see the amount I sold past 31 days, 5,380. You see my dips and ebbs and flows. And yeah, you see right there.
And
Six of it.
do you promote your listings?
Yeah, I do a promotion of 4%. The
Okay.
highest I tried was 10%, and that's where you see like the increase was supposed to be right here. This is at 10%.
Right.
Then I went down to like maybe like 8% here. Then now I'm at 4%, and you can see I'm still just fine at 4%. So,
Right. Because at
so I mean,
10% you're seeing a lot less sales.
you're just wasting way too much money. And the crazy thing is what a lot of people don't know, like we talked about, is if you give a percentage, like if someone gets something that promoted percentage, but if they want to come back 30 days later, they can buy something else and get that promoted listing. you know,
Get the
that
sale.
percentage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick with 4% because I'm not giving that away. It's too much money. It's just
And
way too much.
what is the process? Now, I've shown, I want to show the guys on YouTube just a little bit about the process of
Mhm.
what you've been doing. So what exact process do you go through to generate these sales?
Okay. So for me, I go to the extension that we have. My markup's at 80%, and everything ends with 97 cents. That's the same thing I had when we were at DS Genie, and it just seemed to work. So I just
Right,
kept
yeah, I
it there.
use 97 cents as well.
Yeah. And so the first thing I do is oh, wait, actually, I could just do it from this page. I search for an item. So let's say something simple like, I don't know, like a wedge pillow or something like that.
You search for it on eBay.
Hmm.
Okay.
I search for the item on eBay. And then what I do, I gotta wait for it to come up. But you'll see like all the little icons and everything else. For those of you that don't know, you can see like the seller's information and all that stuff like that. And you'll see there's little icons that will pop up here. And then you'll see at the bottom, it shows you the break-even price down here. So like for example, like this one right here, more than likely they're a drop shipper. This one right here, more than likely they're a drop shipper. I could just tell by the images and the break even, because the break even is less than the cost that they're putting it at, or the price they're putting it at. So that's, and you can tell by the images too. This one might not be a drop shipper just because it's a blank image. There's nothing behind it. So I kind of would pass that person. This one's a drop shipper. So all I do it a lot different than a lot of people. My process is a lot faster, I think. But
Yeah, because you wouldn't go through the process of actually going to Amazon and confirming that it's a drop shipper. You're just using,
mm,
like, from your experience, the type of
yeah,
because you know,
exactly.
go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I do because I what I try to do is just make it, smarter, not harder. You know how I was a dude's genie, bro. I'm
Right,
always
right.
trying to find the quickest way to do things. But I use the competitor research versus using the actual system. Like most people
Product
would
list
go
search.
in, yeah, most people would go in here, they would click on the item, and then they would see, okay, this item, you know, is, oh, I'm sorry, not there. My apologies, not there. Not click on the item. They would click on the person on their actual store and go into their store, see what they're listing here, see how many they sold, and then go to their extract all titles and all that stuff like that. I don't do it that way. It takes too much time. So my main process is I look at three things. I look at the price to determine if it's above the break even. I look at the image to determine if I think it's something that is drop shipping, like this and like this, like I said. And then I also look at the amount of reviews they have, or I'm sorry, yeah, the amount of reviews they have. So
Right.
this person only has 9. So they're not really gonna more than likely have anything they sold. This person, on the other hand, has 6,412. You could tell that they're drop shipping. So I would literally take this name, copy it, and pop it in the competition scanner right here. Do the same thing. So instead of taking all that time going through one to one, I go to the next person. Oh damn it, that thing came up at the top.
Yeah, the Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just copy them here. So we'll just say, so I make a list of basically, like you can see, I have like 161 sellers or whatever. And I just snipe those. Well, I don't snipe them. I just take their listings over and over and over. But my process is if I was to start from this first person, you would have these two, let's say like it's a list of like 20 people. I go the last 3 days, and I'm sorry, not, I go the last 21 days. I don't go down to 30 days. And then I just go ahead and click run. When I click run, you'll see over here, it starts to just do the same thing as if I open that seller and it starts to just take all their products that they sold. So they're
Right, but
241 items.
you're looking for the item that sold at least 3 times.
Yeah, so the way I do it is after that, after it's done, damn, thank you. After it's done, I go to the, sorry, it's loading all this stuff now, so it's trying to kick me out, like, it's just stuff. All right, let me see. So I load the,
The bulk lister.
no, no, not the bulk lister, the scanner. I'm just trying to get to it, but it keeps kicking me off because it's pulling up all this stuff. Um, oh wait, I could do it from through here. Sorry, I'm tripping. So after it starts scanning the items, I can click on show all items. Now open up the scanner over here. So right now you can see there's not really anything in there because we just started it, obviously.
Right.
But let's say like there's, I don't know, like 3,000 results in here or whatever. My thought process is one sale per week at minimum for each item. So because I'm doing 21 days, I just put three here and then I click apply filter and it will show me the titles that apply to that filter, whatever number that may be, 800, whatever it is. And then I just, take them from there, the view title, copy them, and then put them in the product search and do that.
Ah, so you do an extra step before you go to the product hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what I do is I take the listings that sold and put those in the product hunter, but you are reducing it to the listings that sold 3 times in 21 days.
Mm-hmm. And then I even go further. Like once my list that I have right now, for example, I did, because it's such a large list, over 150 sellers,
Right.
I did 3 days and I did three items. And I still had almost 2,000 items.
Right. Okay. Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
if they sold three in three
Yeah.
days, like you're gonna get something from it. You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's how I do it basically. So I'm gonna make a list. I'm gonna have at least 500 sellers at the minimum, and I'm just gonna keep. So I keep a list of, every, if I know I did these ones on this day, then I kind of like put it in a notepad saying this day I ran it, rerun 3 days later, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
But
then
you know that a lot of your sellers wouldn't be actual drop shippers, right? Because you're not doing the step of confirming it on Amazon. But clearly it's working. Clearly you
it's
get
working because remember that the product hunter is looking for words. It's not actually looking for this specific listing.
right, right,
So
right.
it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
looking,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
So
looking for
because it's
words.
yeah, so
It's still
because
beneficial.
yeah, so because it's looking for the words and because I'm confirming the image and everything else, I mean I could go through that step and I'm pretty sure just because of experience, like you said, 95% of the time I'm right. You know what I mean? Because no one's gonna go, if they're not a product seller or they're not a drop shipper, they're not gonna go to Amazon and pull these images or Walmart or whatever, typically.
Right,
You know what I mean? They're gonna be those flat white backgrounds with the item on it, or it's sitting on a table, or you know what I
right,
mean? Like you kind of tell. So and I think they do it intentionally, right? Because people like us or from other companies, that's what they look for. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
and that's,
And what brought you about this process? Is it that this just came from the sniping that we did before?
yeah, because I haven't sniped yet at all. So once this week, like I said, I'm going to start sniping. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my listings and I'm going to start sniping maybe like, I don't know, I might do it today, maybe like 50 items, just see what happens
Right,
and see how the sales turn out, and then maybe 50 more or whatever. Because at the pace I'm going at, I'm fine. Like I'm good. And I don't want to just, like Sammy told me, he's like, bro, he's like, just be careful, like and make
yeah,
sure you're not selling too quick because you don't want them like coming at me or whatever for Amazon or whatnot. But I think I'm fine because again, my both of my accounts are seasoned, and I
right.
bought
So you're
thousands
running
of
two
items
accounts.
on the same one. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Okay. 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 Okay.
mm.
So yeah,
So yeah,
I
that's
just
it.
wanted to have you on the call. And do you think anyone could make $1,000 their first month drop shipping?
I do.
How much time do you put in a day on this?
Well, for example, this
What was the
scanning,
learning process like? How long did it take you to get used to software? Did you go through the course? What did you have to go through to get to this point?
I went through all the videos. Um, that only took me maybe 3 hours, I think, something
Right,
like that. But I went through the videos. As I went through the videos, I was like I do it because I'm one of those people like I'm visual. So, I was watching it and doing it at the same time kind of thing.
right.
Um, but yeah, but learning the software, I mean, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. It take me that long. But I'm an IT, so it's like I'm different than most people. I
Right.
work in the computer industry, so I have a different kind of mindset. And I've used a lot of things like this.
Yeah, you can
But
stop sharing now, by the way, Ben.
what was that?
You can stop sharing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not true. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And how
I
much
think
time do you put in every day?
mm, I would say like me personally putting in time, like my computer is putting in work because
Right.
it's all AI, but me putting in time, fulfilling orders and everything else, or just doing that process.
Break it down. How long does that process take? How long does fulfilling orders take? Because since when you joined, was there the auto ordering feature already, or did that come after you joined?
No, I was there.
Okay.
I was there. So the orders take me, an order itself takes me about 2 to 3 minutes because even though I know that the address is right, I always like to triple check it. So it's just a
Have you ever
habit.
found
So
an address that was wrong?
no, I've had one that like for example, I had one that was Puerto Rico the other day, and it put the zip code in the area where it was supposed to be. No, put the city where it's supposed to be the zip code, but that's because they have so much in their address. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just had to manually put it in. It wasn't a huge deal. But no, I haven't found any that were wrong. Yeah, but I always do that. I mean, that's just how I am on anything.
And then how long does it take for you to do the other part? So one order takes you 2 to 3 minutes, but how many orders do you get a day?
On average, I'm probably getting like 4 to 5
Okay.
on average, but I've had like 10 a day twice, I think.
And have you been listing every day?
Every day except one day. The other day when I talked about how they were doing the sale, I didn't want to put anything new up because I was too busy putting because I was running the repricer. So I don't want to run them side by side like eBay catch wind of me doing all this stuff at one time.
Right.
So I was running the repricer. So I didn't list that day because since I have so many items, the repricer because it was repricing from a pretty high percentage back down. So everything was repricing. So it was taking a really long time. But that
Okay.
was my
Okay.
mistake. So yeah.
And but you still didn't answer me. How much time do you put in every day on this process?
So on this process itself, if I was to take like let's say get like 50 sellers and put them on that scanner and just let it run, I would say it would probably only take me like 5 minutes maybe. That's it. Because I'm just copy and pasting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, copy and pasting, boom, 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 copy, paste, and
And
then I just run it.
you're taking maybe 10 sellers per product that you sell.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
actually I don't I take no, I take more than that. I take like 40 off the front page. Like I just gotta just do that. That's all I do. I just boom, 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 man. Type something random. Boom, 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 boom. Like I said, I'm gonna gather literally probably like 300 more sellers today. So I have a list of at least 500 and I can just run it every 3 days. And I have thousands of products I could just list when I'm ready. You know?
right, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm asking you these questions because a lot of guys on YouTube will want to know how long it takes. Does it take a lot of
Mhm.
time? You know what I mean?
It doesn't take long a time. The most time is answering questions. Like when people come to you with like stupid stuff that they didn't
Right.
read the description, so you got to go back and look at it
Yeah, but how
yourself
many
or
of those you
whatever.
get a day? You shouldn't get that many.
No, I didn't get any. I got one the other day that was kind of crazy, and I ended up like putting the video on Vimeo for him because it was on YouTube, but it was listed to Amazon. So I was like, nah, I'm putting it on Vimeo. And I sent it to him that way so he could look at it. So he knew how to like calibrate. It was like a scale or something like that. So
But it's someone
yeah,
who
but
bought an
that's,
item from you.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But that's, that's a rare thing. Most usually it's just dumb stuff, that doesn't really matter, you know. And I'm just like looking at the description. Like I don't waste my time. I would say the most time is offers probably because I have all my offers are on all my listings. So sometimes I get like really low ball offers and I'm just like
Right.
decline, decline, decline.
Yeah.
Listed for 100, trying to get it for 25. I'm like crazy. That's not gonna happen. But yeah, I would say daily my time, less than an hour. Easy.
Right. Okay,
And
okay.
that's with 5 sales, 5 sales and customer service.
Right.
So yeah, it doesn't take much time at all.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, yeah, I just wanted, this is just an introduction for you guys on YouTube. We're curious what it takes to make 1,000, well, $1,500 in the first month. And what is your goal with, how high do you want to take it?
So what's funny is my goal was in 6 months to reach 3,000 a month in profit, but I'm
Right,
already halfway there in 1 month. So I'm like, I would say by, what's it now, March? I would say by like August, my birthday month. I want to have the account at like close to, if not $10,000 a month in profit. And I think I can do it with the amount of growth. But the issue is the limitations of how much I can actually list. You know what I mean? Like eBay's not opening it up where I can list like 100,000 items right away. I
right.
got
You're listing on the professional side, you listen 10,000. On the anchor side, you listen 25,000.
so I gotta work up to that. But
I mean, you'll
they'll
have to
open it
tighten
up.
up the process.
Yeah, yeah. And they'll just have to open it up more. That's the thing is right now I'm at half a mil, and I think five 50,000 items and like half a million right now
Right.
is my limit. But that's not that much when you're listing things. It only gets me up to like 5,000 items on my listings, maybe six. So yeah.
Okay. So guys, if you have any questions about the process, about Ecom Sniper, about how to make money online, let us know in the comment section. And thanks for your time, Ben. I just wanted to share your progress and your success with YouTube. So anyone who wants to make money as well, they can know they can do it.
Yeah, well, no worries. You guys have a good day.
All right.
Join now. It's
Later.
not free, but join now. It's good. It's a good price for what you get for real. Easy, simple. And I'm in the group to help out anybody that needs.
Yeah, if you want to join, I'll put a link to the Telegram groups and the Facebook group so you guys could join so you could ask questions and so on.
Yep, yep.
All right, thanks, man.
Peace.